up, y'all? My name's Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to find your target audience on social media coming up. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. On this channel, we are giving you practical tips on how to be able to use social media and technology to attract new visitors to your church, right? So specifically, one of the things that we want to break down in this video is how to find your target audience on social media. Now, I've been doing this for the last 7 years for churches all over North America, and I see a lot of churches make the exact same mistakes. So we're going to talk about 5 things that you need to do before you ever run a Facebook ad or create the actual social media post. So let's dive in. And make sure you stick around all the way to the end of this video, because I'm going to be giving you my #1 Facebook ads tip that's going to help double the effectiveness of your Facebook ads and make sure that your ads are bringing in new Sunday morning visitors. Okay, so before you ever actually post on social media, whether it's an organic post or a boosted post or a Facebook or Instagram ad, what you want to do is you actually want to do these 5 things first, right? So you want to sit down and you want to figure out, #1, who are we actually trying to reach? Now, I know that might sound obvious, but I'm telling you, most churches completely overlook this part. So I recently helped a church in Florida do this exact same thing, right? They were diving in, they wanted me to make sure that their Facebook ad was set up correctly, right? And I just said, whoa, you guys are getting the cart before the horse, right? First off, who are we trying to reach? I said, well, we're trying to reach everybody. I said, okay, great. But when you try to reach everybody, you actually reach nobody, right? Because when you go out there, you say, hey, our church has something for everybody. That sounds really good, and you may believe that, but let's be honest, nobody can reach everybody. There's probably a demographic that you guys are crushing it with right now. And it may not necessarily be like an age demographic, right? Maybe it is. Maybe you're crushing it with millennials, or maybe you have a perfect church for young families, or maybe you're attracting a bunch of senior citizens or empty nesters, and you do a really, really good job taking care of those guys. But what you want to do is you want to make sure to just go all in on your DNA and figure out exactly who you are perfectly equipped to take care of, and then let's go after those people. Who is it that you're trying to reach? And so we realized with this church, they were doing a really, really good job, especially with people in their late 20s all the way up through mid 30s who had young elementary school age kids, right? That was kind of like their bread and butter. So that's who we decided to talk to. And so when we say in this first one, who are we trying to reach? We wanted to actually identify what would that person look like, right? So let's say that we're writing to a mom who is 35 years old. She's been a stay-at-home mom, right? Let's give her a name. Let's call her Jennifer, right? So maybe Jennifer is 35 years old. She's got 3 young kids, right? Her husband is an entrepreneur and owns a business. But what's she going through right now, right? Coming out of COVID, he probably had to work a ton, probably had to work really long hours, right? There might be some distance between them and their marriage. They still love each other. Everything's good. But with all the hours that he's been working, she's probably been feeling kind of alone at home with the kids, right? And chances are that during COVID, she probably had to learn how to homeschool her kids at least for a couple of months, right? So what's that like? Especially, right, if some of you guys are stay-at-home moms and you're watching this video, you know how tough that can be when the only conversations that you're having throughout the entire day are with small kids. So by the time your husband gets home, or by the time you finally have an adult conversation, it might be 4, 5, 6 o'clock, in the evening. And so that completely changes the dynamic. So it's important to understand those things before we actually go write the Facebook ad. So figure out who is it you're trying to reach, and then ask yourself, what is that person? Give them a name. What are they struggling with? Where are they at in life right now? And then you want to ask yourself, what's keeping them up at night? Now that we have the answers to those questions, let's head on to step 2. All right, so in step 2, you want to figure out what is it that you're trying to promote, right? So is this your Sunday morning service? You're trying to promote your live stream. Maybe it's a sermon series kickoff. Maybe it's a men's event, right? Or a women's conference, or some type of guest speaker, right? But you first want to ask yourself, what is it that you're trying to promote? So in the case of the Florida church, they were specifically trying to drive people to their Easter service, right? And things were still a little bit crazy where they're actually going to have an outside service. There was going to be social distancing, right? But so what we needed to do is we needed to give people a reason to show up in person as opposed to just watching online. Once we know exactly what it is that we're trying to promote, we can head on to step 3. All right, step 3, what's the call to action? Meaning now that we know who it is that we're trying to reach, we know what it is that we're trying to promote. Now we need to try to figure out what's the action we want them to take. So do we want them to register for a conference? Do we want them to show up on Sunday morning? Do we want them to watch the live stream, right? So personally, my very favorite call to action is plan your visit. And this is the one that I use 99 times out of 100, right? I love the idea of plan your visit because people can schedule an appointment to visit your church, and then you can actually have a friendly person waiting for them at the front door door to help them get their kids checked in, give them a tour of the property, save seats for them in service, right? Make sure that they meet you as the pastor, right? Because 80% of people who meet the pastor on their first visit will come back for a second visit. So it's really, really important. It's going to speed up the natural assimilation process of your church simply by having a friendly person waiting for them at the front door, because they're going to make sure to have a personal connection with at least one person the very first time that they show up for Sunday service. Okay, so obviously, depending on what it is that you are promoting, you might have a different call to action, but I'm telling you, when in doubt, go with plan your visit, and then just set up a simple way on your website for people to be able to fill out their name, email, and phone number so that they can plan a visit and basically schedule an appointment to visit church this Sunday. All right, so before I get to my last two steps, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're putting out brand new content every single day, 5 days a week. And if you hit that little bell notification, then you'll get a notification every single time we put out a new video. All right, step 4, what problem are you solving for them? Okay, now again, we don't want to just run off and go create a Facebook ad, right? Like, we do know who we're reaching and we know what we're promoting. We know what the call to action is, but we want to know what problem are we solving for them. So we know that Jennifer is just having a hard time, right? She's been a stay-at-home mom. She's got 3 kids and there's a lot of distance in her marriage, right? She still loves her husband like crazy, but if she's not having an adult conversation until 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Like, all of a sudden, like, man, that's going to wear on somebody, right? And think about, like, the pressures that her husband is under is probably pretty crazy too, right? So during COVID, he might have had to let some of his employees go. He might have had to start working longer hours, right? He's probably under a lot of pressure, not just to be a husband and a father, but also a business owner and to keep money coming in for the business, right? So he's probably thinking about business all the time. She's probably thinking about family all the time. And there's probably a disconnect there. She probably doesn't feel like her husband cares about the things that she's going through every day. She probably feels like he's disconnected or disinterested every time she brings up things that she's dealing with about the kids that she's really concerned about. He's so busy worrying about the business and bringing in revenue that it seems like he's completely disinterested. That's not true, but that's how she feels. So if we're going to be promoting a women's conference or maybe a marriage conference, what we could do is we can specifically speak to that and we can talk about that problem that we're going to solve. Hey, so let's say we're promoting a marriage conference and we might say, hey, does it feel like there's just some distance between you and your spouse? Are you having a hard time remembering when the last time you were on a date night? Maybe you guys love each other, but you've just been so busy you haven't had time to connect. Well, we want to invite you out to our brand new marriage conference, I Want a New Marriage. And in that conference, we're going to talk about how you can reconnect, right? We're going to talk about 3 questions you can ask at the end of every single day in order to make sure that you don't let that distance grow and separate you. And we're going to give you our number 1 secret on how to make sure that you have a babysitter for date night every single week, right? Now, if you're Jennifer right now, no matter what, nothing is going to keep you from showing up to that marriage conference. So you just spoke to everything that she's dealing with. Those are the things that are keeping her up at night, right? And so you just promised to solve all of those things in your Facebook ad. This is why it's really important to start out and figure out who we want to reach, right? What action we want them to take, what we're trying to promote. And then now we're communicating in our copy exactly what problems we're going to be solving. And then we end it with a call to action, right? Just say, hey, if that sounds like you, make sure to click on the link below and plan your visit to our marriage conference this Saturday at 10 a.m. All right. And finally, number 5, let's talk about some paid advertising. So up to this point, everything that we've done can work for an organic post, or you can post it on Facebook or Instagram. You can boost it, right? But if you're going to be running some targeted Facebook ads, which I highly, highly recommend, then I'm going to give you my number 1 secret tip for what you actually need to do in order to make this super, super effective and actually double the amount of visitors that you're going to see on a Sunday, right? So this is the biggest mistake that I see churches make all the time. Is what happens is they'll try running a Facebook ad and they'll say, oh, it didn't work. I guess Facebook ads just don't work here in our city, right? That's not true. What that actually means is you probably just didn't do it right, right? It doesn't mean that you necessarily didn't set it up right, but you probably didn't go through the framework that we outlined in this video. So what you want to do is, once you've created all of that and you've actually written your ad, the number 1 secret to how to make these Facebook ads super, super effective is the targeting, right? And this is the part that most churches mess up. So what's going to happen is you're probably thinking, well, we really want to reach young families. So let's try to target everyone between the ages of 33 and 35 who have 3 kids. And those kids are between the ages of 6 and 8. And they live within 2 miles of our church. And they love the Washington football team and hate the Dallas Cowboys, right? Which, let's be honest, God is definitely a Washington football team. And if you're a Dallas fan, you need to repent and be baptized. But if you set up your targeting that way, the problem is you're going to shrink your potential audience size so small that your cost per click is going to be through the roof, right? And you're probably only going to reach a couple hundred or maybe a couple thousand people. It's just too small. So what you want to do is you actually want to set up your targeting and leave it wide open, right? This is completely counterintuitive. I've done this for churches. They're like, hey, you messed up the targeting. You didn't do any interest targeting. I'm like, yes, on purpose. It's counterintuitive. I promise this is the way to do it. This works, right? The reason is because Facebook's algorithm is so robust, right, that you want to let them do all the heavy lifting. Facebook will identify all these different points of data, right, on people that are clicking on your ad, right, and planning a visit and taking the action that you want to do. They will continue to filter out the people that aren't going to respond, and they will show it more to the people that are going to respond. So leave it wide open. Just simply drop a pin on the location of your church, draw out a radius that's driving distance of your church, right, 10 to 15 miles in most cases, and then leave the targeting wide open and target everyone within that radius between the ages of 18 and 65 plus, and then you watch the new families pour in the door on Sunday. All right, so I have a free gift for you. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about how to use social media and technology in order to grow your church, head on over to churchgrowthagency.com. We have a free video training there that you can check out, or you can click on the link in the description below. Go check out that video, and if you want, we'll even hop on a free strategy call with you to talk about how to customize a strategy for your church.